Let's be honest. Most men think buying flowers, sending good morning texts, and being constantly available is how you win a woman over. In reality, it's the fastest way to make her lose interest and call you a great friend. You have been taught to be predictable, but women don't obsess over predictable men. They obsess over men who understand the psychology of desire. And here's the controversial truth. Attraction isn't a logical choice she makes. It's a primal, emotional response she feels. And that feeling isn't triggered by how nice you are. It's triggered by specific psychological responses that make you unforgettable. You can call it manipulation. But the truth is, women use these same hooks on men constantly. Whether they realize it or not, the woman who stays in your mind knows this language. She knows how to make you chase. The difference is, now, you will too. This video is your rulebook to that hidden language. This is not about cheap tricks or fake personas. It's about understanding the deep patterns of female psychology, so you can naturally draw women in without chasing, begging, or overcompensating. It's about becoming the man whose presence alone is enough. So, if you've ever wondered why some men seem to have women hooked without even trying, you are about to learn the mechanics behind the magic, step by step. Sign No. 1. She stops respecting your time. Time is the ultimate non-renewable resource, and how someone treats your time is a direct reflection of how they value you. Notice the patterns, the last-minute cancellations with flimsy excuses, the chronic lateness without a genuine apology, the delayed text replies that stretch into hours while you see her active online. These aren't accidental, they are subtle indicators of a shift in priority, and you are no longer at the top of that list. The brutal truth: when a woman is genuinely interested, she carves out time for you, often rearranging her schedule. Your time becomes valuable to her because you are valuable to her. The common mistake men make here is to be understanding to a fault, accepting these behaviors as just her being busy. But ask yourself, is she this busy for her friends, her hobbies, or that new show she's binge watching? Now, be honest with yourself. Have you been making excuses for someone who consistently disrespects your time? It's time to acknowledge what her actions are screaming. Sign No. 2. Her phone becomes her priority over you. In this hyper-connected age, attention is the most valuable currency. When you're physically present with a woman and her phone consistently demands more of her focus than you do, that's a glaring red flag. It's the endless scrolling through social media, the constant texting with others, the glazed-over look as she engages with her digital world while you sit right there. You become background noise to her online life. The harsh reality is that genuine interest breeds genuine engagement. A woman who is into you will be present with you, eager to connect and share the moment. Her phone will be secondary. The common error men commit is to passively accept this, perhaps scrolling on their own phones to fill the awkward silence. But you're essentially signaling that you're okay with being less interesting than the curated content on her screen. So, I've got to ask, have you ever felt like you're competing for attention with a device? What does that tell you about her investment in you? Sign No. 3. Effort becomes a one-way street. Notice who's initiating contact, who's suggesting dates, who's putting in the work to keep the connection alive. If you find yourself constantly being the one to reach out, to plan, to invest emotional energy while her effort is minimal or non-existent, you're on a one-way street. Relationships thrive on reciprocity, a mutual exchange of interest and effort. The uncomfortable truth is that when a woman is genuinely interested, she will meet you halfway. She initiate contact, suggest activities, and show a clear desire to spend time with you. The typical blunder men fall into is to work harder, thinking that their increased effort will somehow spark her interest. But you can't force attraction through sheer persistence. You're essentially trying to push a boulder uphill by yourself. Think about it. Are you the only one consistently putting in the effort to keep things going? What would happen if you stopped? Would she even notice? Sign No. 4. Conversations feel like an interrogation. Engaging conversation is a hallmark of genuine connection. It flows naturally, with both individuals contributing, asking questions, and showing genuine curiosity about the other's thoughts and experiences. But if your interactions feel like pulling teeth, with one-word answers, long silences, and a distinct lack of reciprocal questioning from her side, that's a significant sign. You're left feeling like you're conducting an interrogation rather than having a genuine exchange. The stark reality is that interest fuels curiosity. A woman who is attracted to you will want to know about your life, your passions, your thoughts. She actively participates in the conversation. The usual trap men stumble into is to blame themselves, thinking they're not interesting enough or not asking the right questions. So, consider your last few conversations. Did they feel like a genuine two-way exchange, or were you carrying the entire weight? What does that tell you about her level of engagement? Sign number 5. She keeps you in the maybe pile. Notice the ambiguity in her responses when you try to make concrete plans. The maybe, the I'll see, the vague promises of next time that never materialize. This is a classic tactic of keeping someone on the back burner, someone who provides attention and validation without any real intention of moving forward. You're essentially being kept in the maybe pile, a safety net rather than a genuine priority. The cold truth is that when a woman is truly interested, she will be enthusiastic about making plans and committing to spending time with you. Her schedule might be busy, but she worked to find a slot. The common error men commit is to hold on to these maybes, interpreting them as a sliver of hope rather than a polite rejection. Ask yourself honestly, how many times have you been left hanging with a vague maybe? Isn't it time you moved on from the maybe pile and found someone who gives you a definitive yes? So, let's connect the dots, the disrespect for your time and your attention, the one-sided effort in conversation and in planning, the ambiguity and the refusal to offer you certainty. These are not random, isolated incidents. They are chapters in the same story, all leading to the same undeniable conclusion. You are witnessing the slow, quiet death of attraction. Here is the simple, ultimate truth you must anchor yourself to. When a woman's desire is high, there is no confusion. There is only clarity. Her interest will be a force of nature, an undeniable presence in your life, not a mystery you have to spend your days trying to solve. You will feel it in her effort, in her engagement, and in her enthusiasm. This leads us to the final, most uncomfortable question. If her interest is so low, why does she still keep you around? The easy answer is to call it cruel, to become angry. But the stoic answer is to call it human nature. You have become her emotional safety net, a reliable source of attention and validation that comes with zero risk and requires zero investment on her part. You are the comfort zone she can return to when she's bored, when another man disappoints her, or when she needs a momentary ego boost. It's not necessarily a calculated, malicious plan. It is simply a deeply human strategy of maximizing her options and her emotional security at a very low cost to her. And when you are faced with this truth, you have two paths. The first path is the one most men take: bitterness, resentment. You can become angry at the game, angry at her, angry at the world for being unfair. This path leads to a dead end of cynicism and mistrust. But there is a second path, the stoic path. This path is not about blaming her. It's about taking radical responsibility for your own reality. The stoic path is acceptance, followed by decisive action. The action is to calmly, and without drama, withdraw your investment from a stock that is yielding no returns. You reclaim your most precious, non-renewable resources, your time, your focus, and your emotional energy. You stop pouring them into a dead end, and you reinvest them back into the only thing you can truly control: yourself. Into your purpose, your health, your mission. This is the core of the Stoic Manhood Guide. It's not about learning tricks to get the girl. It's about building a life of such value and purpose that the approval of any single person becomes a bonus, not a necessity. Now, I want to hear from you. Based on what you've learned today, what is one behavior you will stop tolerating, starting right now? Let me know in the comments. Let's hold each other accountable. This is just the beginning. In the next video, we will discuss the one mental frame that separates the men who are chased from the men who do the chasing. Subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss that guide. Remember, the goal is not to be wanted. The goal is to be a man who doesn't need to be wanted. That is true freedom. That is true strength.